Well, I'd like to welcome my guest today, Peter Schiff. And nobody gets the blood pressure going better than Peter Schiff. Thanks for taking the time this morning, Peter.
My pleasure, Rick.
Well, listen, the best way to get into this is on April 1st, you wrote a letter. You normally write lots of pieces called April Fools in March. And there was a quote in there I have to read, and the best way to get into it is just to read it. It may be impossible to underestimate the gullibility of professional Fed watchers. Why did you write that? What does it mean?
Well, because remember in March you had people talking about the possibility of April being a live meeting and everybody talking about whether or not the Fed's going to raise rates. All this is part of their bluff. It's a charade. They really can't raise rates because they don't want to put too many holes in this bubble, because this recovery was never real. It's phony. It's another Federal Reserve bubble, just like the one that popped in 2008, only this one is even bigger. And I think what we really should be talking about is not when the Fed's going to hike rates, but when they're going to admit that the economy is much weaker than they've been pretending. When are they going to cut rates, and when are they going to launch QE4?
You know, Peter, you bring up a great point, and I can't say I disagree with anything you've said so far, but here's the way I look at it a little different. I don't think it's gullibility. I think it's going along to get a check. And there is a serious difference. I think many out there understand. If the economy was good, we would have normalized rates. So the obvious conclusion is it isn't that good. It's mediocre, and we need to grade on a curve. But in the end, aren't many investors and big institutional hedge fund managers just going along with it because they're really gaming it, aren't they?
Well, sure, they're going along with it just like they went along with it last time. Either they don't understand it or they do, but they don't want to admit it. And this economy would have to improve dramatically to get to mediocre. It's lousy. Why do you think Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders have got so much support? Behind all those phony jobs numbers are a lot of angry Americans who lost their full-time job and have a low-paying part-time job. Their standard of living is going down, their cost of living is going up, and everybody wants to pretend that this is a legitimate recovery, and it is just an illusion.
So basically, you're looking at what's going on in the presidential election through the prism of nationalism, and it seems to make sense. Would you agree with that?
Well, not nationalism, but economic realism. Why are so many Americans so upset if the unemployment rate is really 5%? Because it's not. It's much higher than that. They're counting people with part-time jobs as if they're fully employed. They're not. All these numbers are phony because they don't reflect what's actually happening. Meanwhile, there are a lot of economic numbers that you report every day that are lousy, that are so bad that we've never seen them unless we're in a recession.
Those don't count. GDP and productivity, they're just way out of the norm with regard to how they get revised. It seems as though it's shoot the messenger. Listen, we're out of time, Peter. How about we take this into .com? Let's do a Santelli Exchange extra innings. So I'm going to kick it back to Sarah, and I'll see you on .com. Thanks.